Hello. How are you today? What brings you in?
It's just that I've followed Burnley for a long time, and their football, it's the style, it's
You would prefer it move ball around faster. Ball on ground. Less of the hoofy ball.
I mean, yeah, my girlfriend gets me a donut every time we score a goal, and well, I really like donuts, and we've not really gotten many the last 8 years.
I see. I think I know just the thing for you. New manager just for you. I have one in mind. I may call for you. Welcome to Turf Moor Tiki-Taka. My name is Gray Hair Gaming. I've been making Football Manager content since FM17, and we're back, my friends, for another go. I've got a ton of things planned for FM21. We've got this beta save, a main save, Relegation Ranger will return, lots of experiments, and maybe, just maybe, some videos on US men's national team. Since apparently we're going to do international football. Whether we should or not, I'll leave that up to you. But it's back, so we're going to do more content about that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and yes, my friends, the bell, so you'll get notified when new content comes out. Speaking of content, also make sure you're following me on Twitter, @GrayHairGaming, or maybe join the Discord that's in the description below. Why? Because I'll announce when I go live. I don't stream a lot, but I will be streaming this Friday. Yes, Friday the 13th. With an international management save. So stay tuned for more on that. Let's get back into this video. What are we doing with this FM21 beta save with Burnley? No more of Sean Dyche's tactics. I thought that was pretty good, to be honest with you. We're going to do something that feels completely foreign to a team like Burnley. We're going Tiki-Taka. Now, you should know, I've never played Tiki-Taka, and I've never managed in the Premier League, so it should be either an absolute blast, or a complete disaster, or maybe both. Either way, it's going to be entertaining. Now, here's the challenge for you, viewers. If we can get this video to 100 likes, I'll release the next episode 1 hour after it went live. So let's hop into FM21 for the very first time. All right, first look at the game, and immediately I'm looking at center backs, and I will explain why. I've already gone through the, where it shows your photo and it gives you the squad view and welcome to the club and all that kind of stuff. You can experience that for yourself. I will show you my manager because I think they've gotten a little bit better from the facial recognition, if you will. But I want to show you Eric Palmer Brown because I've been thinking of center backs that we could sign because we do have I don't think we have enough depth of quality. Now, the problem is, this is what the board. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on him. $4 million. He's on loan though, so I maybe we just couldn't pick him up. But the type of player I think we would be like, yeah. Can we have him? Because here's the thing: we got $11.5 million, which I think is actually more than I was expecting for a club like Burnley in the middle of the situation we're in. Because the FM21 is modeling what is happening in the real world right now, and then eventually over time will ease up into more regular, because hopefully that's the way the world goes. As FM goes, the world goes. Yeah, ignore all the times Liverpool didn't win the Champions League in FM. Anyway, we've got a little bit of transfer budget. Wage budget. We got 50 grand to spend. We could dump some of the transfer budget in there and so on. Healthy bank balance. At least I think it's a healthy bank balance. I'm not sure. Never managed in the Premier League. But let's go take a look at. First off, we go to the tactics screen, and you'll notice this looks different. It was a bit jarring, to be honest with you, and I even knew it was coming. They've gotten rid of the circles. like the green dots to let you know, or the orange dots to let you know they're not in good position. And not sure I love it. Like, it'll show you who the options are and their ability in that role, right? And so, like, let's take Josh Brownhill here. It'll show you, this is essentially these stars are replacing the green or quasi-green or yellow-green, orange-red dots, which is okay. But I don't like that I can't just see it. Now, it does give you the background is different. And what I've done here, my friends, is gone to create a tactic. I picked Tiki-Taka and went boom. Now, I have changed one thing, and you'll notice it between these two formations. Is the normal Tiki-Taka has an inside forward here and a winger here. Based on our players, I think this is actually better, and it switches the advanced playmaker and the roaming playmaker. So apparently we got 2 playmakers. Remember all the things people said don't have 2 playmakers? Well, Tiki-Taka it is, my friends, and we're putting a put on attack, apparently. But I'm going with, essentially, I'm not modifying the tactic right now, I'm just going with what's in place. Now, what I do like from a change here is it's already got the relationship between 2 pairs of players. So that, I'm assuming, is a carryover from the previous season and their existing relationships. So that's nice. I'm going to need your help here because I have never played... How about, viewer, you notice that I've mentioned that multiple times? I've never played Tiki-Taka, so I'm sure you have more experience with this than I do. So your comments below are going to be absolutely massive with helping me. But this is kind of how I have us lined up. Yeah, but you'll notice here, if you scroll down, Ben Mee is out for anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months. So 3 to 8 weeks. It's the 27th of July. Yeah, somewhere in here he'll be back. And so we're not playing necessarily our best. I mean, we get Kevin Long here as a center back. If you go to the coaching report, he is our 3rd best, I guess, center back, which is not also very inspiring. I just feel like we could use some depth here. Let's take a look at the team report, and maybe I can make that case a little bit harder. Here we got Tarkovsky, Ben Mee, who's injured, Gibson, that we've loaned out, and I can't recall. Thank you, Burnley board. Loughton, who I think is covering. Yeah, he's playing right back for us. He's not covering. He's playing right back for us. Eric Peters, who, my friends, is really a left back. So it's really like, to get down to Kevin Long, we are pretty far down the list. You agree? So I feel like we could use maybe a lone player. This is also wrong. It's showing Jimmy Dunn's potential as 4-star rather than 2-star. That is a bug, because I was like, why isn't he there? But, like, obviously he wouldn't be at the bottom of the list. But I think when you look at the screen, this is what jumps out at me. Like, I know Burnley like to punt it up to target man and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of averageness, right? Take a Jay Rodriguez, take a Chris Wood and Barnes. They're all pretty much the same. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but from a star rating standpoint, there's not like an outstanding player. So is that a good thing or a bad thing when with us going Tiki-Taka, right? Like, is it going to be absolutely devastating? We go to Chris Wood and we switch to Barnes? Ashley? Yes, Ashley Barnes? Not really, right? It also doesn't give you, this is what I'm noticing, it doesn't show you the other options that are currently on the pitch. So like take Rodriguez here. He could play a deep lying forward as well. Now this is something that I've noticed, obviously because they've changed the dots to stars. You also can't scroll very easily. I find that kind of, you have to scroll over here. It's like if you're on the main screen where you're choosing the leagues to load and all that kind of stuff, you know, you need to scroll down to choose the sub leagues, like in Germany, the second Bundesliga and the third Liga, right? You click your league and then you scroll down. Well, it's doing that here. So that's just going to take some, I guess I'm getting used to scroll down. I'm probably spending too much time in my first episode talking about scrolling issues, but it's how I feel. But this is how we're lined up. Now, we've also gone Tiki-Taka with a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Cork would not play there, I don't think, because that's not exactly his favorite position. But this is what we're trying. We're trying to enhance Burnley and take them places. Where are we taking them? Where are we taking them, my friends? Well, let's take a look. Season preview, they are expected to finish 13th. Now, based on what's happening actually in real life, they would take that, right? I think they've scored 3 goals this season. I think something like that. Yeah, as of the time of recording, scored 3, conceded 12. So it's not working. It's not. So we're going to come in. We're going to change things. Expected to finish 13th. Might be a high bar. The other thing we're going to run into, I think that's going to be a problem, is the club vision, which I could not change. I tried. Play direct football. Nope. Now, signing players on the age of 22, if you watch any of my channel, you know that probably fits. That's what GHG likes to do. Develop players using club youth system, if it's good enough, sure. And play defensively solid football, which you could argue if we're pressing and winning the ball back, maybe we don't concede as much, but we're probably going to have some bumps in the road. Work within the wage budget, finish mid-table. Friends, in the comments, define mid-table. This is one thing that I wish would be a little more clear. Because mid-table, to me, could be rather large. How far is the middle of the table? Obviously, they don't expect top 6 or 7, right? Okay. And they're not wanting relegation. So is it anything above 17th and below 7th or 8th? Or is it more like around 12 or 13, like where we're expected to be? Reach the 5th round of the FA Cup and the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Right. Excellent. Popping in to take a look at the staff, we are missing 2 coaches and a whole host of recruitment team members and medical team. I've already added all of those to the, postings and all that kind of stuff, so there's no need for you to see that. You can see we're not terrible when it comes to coaching. We are pretty bad from a scouting standpoint, so that's a problem, and a physio standpoint. So we really need to bolster our ranks there, but again, it's Burnley. Other thing I love to do here is to come up to either, I think it used to be along the top, but comparison. Now, one of the things that I feel like is a bug, and I've already reported it, but I'm not sure if it's entirely a bug, is I feel like when you click on defense, it used to get rid of the other options up here. Same thing with like midfield, right? Like when I click midfield, I don't want to show the goalkeepers. That doesn't make sense. So I think that's a bug, and I'm sure that'll get fixed if it is. Because it does keep it once you make the change, but it's like I shouldn't have to make the change. I'm clicking on midfield, show me midfield. And the thing that really stands out, my friends, and say the goalkeepers, I don't need to show how good my strikers are at goalkeeping. The thing that stands out is not very good. In bursts. So like there's bursts of good, right? So good command of the box, or command of the area, good in the air from a goalkeeping standpoint. Everything else is pretty well below average. From a defense standpoint, pretty poor pace and acceleration. It's gonna be fun. Midfield, very poor technical abilities. Below average decision making, below average passing, and long shots and vision. Vision, passing, technical ability, and decisions. Nothing that's important for playing a Tiki-Taka style. Finishing is below average. Everything else is okay once you ignore this part of the screen. Off the ball is pretty bad. Pace and acceleration are pretty bad. It's just, it makes sense that they finished 10th last season. They're a bang average team, right? Now, can we survive? Like, what are the goals? What do you think the goals should be for this beta save? I mean, we got 2 weeks. You could grind through a lot of games and a lot of seasons with that. Maybe like 3, 4, 5 seasons. I think surviving through Christmas to get started is probably a good goal. I tickled myself. I didn't chuckle myself. Mentals. Lots of great teamwork. That's good. Get rid of the goalkeepers and positioning goes up and bravery is the top. So like it's not all bad. It's just not very technical. Although you could argue that our defenders, midfielders, and strikers having best in the league overall, if you combine those 3 things with tackling and marking, also could be good. Again, I'm learning this Tiki-Taka thing, but I'm seeing counter press. Okay? So like tackle. Go get them, boys. Tackle. We're not doing get stuck in, but like, now where we may get burned, that flag thing might burn us a little bit. I think you could argue, because if we go back to the defenders, again, you notice it's remarked all those. I don't think that's on purpose. I think that's a bug. The pace and acceleration, 19th and 16th. So we're gonna play an offside line with some of the slowest defenders in the Premier League. It'll be fun. Is it ever really a good thing when the best player on your team is your goalkeeper? Not so sure. Let's just take a look at some of the Nick Pope. Good stuff. The only problem is we're playing him on attack. We might change that to support. That's probably not great. Then the second best player of the team is our center back, James Tarkowski. You know, all around pretty darn good, but that's not what you're wanting. And then we get Dwight McNeil, who definitively fits into the Burnley plans of developing youth players and signing players under the age of 22 to move them on. He's the youth prospect that's come up. Looks to be very, very tasty. Not gonna lie. And then, you know, Ashley Barnes, who we don't even have playing. Obviously very, very good as well. So again, I think when you look at Ashley Barnes, Jay Rodriguez, easy for me to say, Chris Wood, you know, we have several attacking options that are all about the same. Is that good or bad? But I just think it's hilarious that the best player is Nick Pope. As for the save, I've gone with the 3D modeled face, like I mentioned. You can click that. It'll bring it up for you quite nicely. Is that what it'll look like? Apparently. And I went with whatever it recommended for this level, right? So we're making 55 grand a week. We've got a 1.5 star reputation. Looking at the schedule, it had already set up, which I'm assuming this is something that Burnley actually did. I didn't look it up. In reality, in 2020. Although, no, that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't have done a tour in 2020. Surely that's wrong. But it was already set up to do a tour, so I picked out a couple of extra friendlies. These were already set. Accrington is our affiliate, so we're going to do an affiliate one there. So essentially, these three were the ones I added. The others were already in place. You'll notice here, Burnley's second 11. So what that means is, that's a change that was announced, I think, today when the beta came out, is, you know, you usually come in as a new manager and you have your starting 11 versus your youth players, which obviously doesn't give you a very fair look at the situation. And so now you can have a second 11. And I think the tweet from Miles, I'll have to go back and check it, said you could have a third 11. So it allows you to, you know, split up the squad and have, especially if you've got a large squad, this is obviously everybody, but if you've got, you know, if you go back to our squad screen here, you could play these 10 players plus a youth prospect against these 11 and get a more accurate look at what the quality of the team actually is. I think that's a fantastic change. Now, one thing to wrap it up that has kind of been my beef with Football Manager for a while now is this green dot with the white text. It's just not readable. Like, can you read that? I know it says 0, but okay, let's because I haven't managed a game yet. Let's go to Sean. It doesn't show Sean's, but like as you go through your saves, you go like, I wonder how many games I've won. I can't really tell because it's bright green with white text. That should be a black text. That's a very small thing, but it bothers me. This is what the profile screen looks like, my friends. Not a lot has changed. We do have rivalries, if you're not familiar, with Blackburn and Preston, Blackpool and Leeds, which is interesting now that they're back in the Premier League. The news section is pretty bare right now. Facilities, average corporate, excellent training, great youth facilities, and adequate academy coaching and average youth recruitment. Maybe we can get them to up that. Again, Accrington is our affiliate. All right, my friends, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I've got a lot of friendlies to go play and a lot of transfers to go pursue. Again, if we can get this thing to 100 likes, I know for some other content creators, they set a 1,000 or 5,000 like target. For me, we're going to aim for 100 in the first hour. If we can get that, I will release the episode that I'm about to go record right after that, 1 hour after this episode goes live. Reminder as well to follow me on Twitter and join the Discord, because I will announce when exactly on Friday the 13th I'm streaming. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I haven't shown you that you want to see, and you're going to have, please have comments about Tiki-Taka. The first episode will have probably a game or two played in it, depending on how the transfers go. We'll at least play one. So your recommendations on Tiki-Taka will probably not roll in until the third episode, but I will need them if we are to survive. Do you think we can survive playing Tiki-Taka? That's the biggest question for you today, my friends. Hit the like button. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.